Well, it's finally going down tonight. Halloween Kills was released in 2021, directed by David Gordon Green, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Matichak, Judy Greer, and Anthony Michael Hall. Like I said, I am finally seeing Halloween Ends tonight. I am so excited. So let's go ahead and review the final movie in the series before the newest one comes out. So let's go ahead and just jump into this, starting off with the good. I really love this movie. I do understand some of the negativity people have for it, but I just think this is a badass Halloween film. First of all, you have Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode. I really like her in this movie. She doesn't do much. She's really just in a hospital bed for most of the movie, but she does give some really good monologues, and I like her performance and chemistry with different characters, specifically with Allison and with Officer Hawkins, who is now still alive. I really, really liked him and his conversations with Laurie about the past and about Michael. I think that they are great together. Allison is given a lot more to do in this movie. She is absolutely terrific, as is Karen. And when I first saw the first Halloween from 2018, I was not big on Karen, but this movie really sold me on the character. She does a lot more in this movie than she did in the previous movie, and I think that her character does die at the end, but she still actually gets something useful to do in the movie. And then you have a lot of returning legacy characters. First, you have Tommy Doyle, played by Anthony Michael Hall. I think they were wanting to get Paul Rudd, but Paul Rudd was busy with Afterlife, so they got Anthony Michael Hall, and I really like this portrayal of Tommy Doyle. A lot of people have issue with him, say that he's unlikable, but the thing is, if you find this version of Tomothy Doyle, Tomothy, I have a friend at work named Tommy, and I call him Tomothy all the time. Either way, if you find this version of Tommy Doyle unlikable, then Anthony Michael Hall did his job, because this version of Tommy Doyle is not supposed to be likable. He's supposed to be corrupt, and we're supposed to see this character as a cautionary tale of what past trauma could potentially do to manipulate someone to do something bad, like Tommy does near the halfway point of this movie. And then you have Charles Cyphers back as Sheriff Brackett. He also doesn't do a whole bunch, but it was just nice to see him back in the role, and he also has one of the most badass lines of the movie. Even though it's really a callback to one of his lines from the original, I just really liked the way he delivered it. Then you have characters like Lindsay, Lonnie Elam. They are back in this movie, and they both do really good. Lindsay's not given much to do, but she is going to be in Halloween Ends, so I'm excited to see what they do with that character. And Lonnie, God rest his soul, does die in the third act. I really liked Lonnie in this movie. I thought he was great. I never thought I'd be saying that about a character who has like maybe one or two scenes in the original film, but I really like this character. And also the character of Cameron, Allison's boyfriend. Hated him in 2018, actually really liked him by the end of this movie. Also dies. I wish they'd kept him alive. See him and Allison reconcile after the events of 2018. But either way, aside from legacy characters, you have you have a few new characters. First of all, you got Big John and Little John. Those are the main ones I want to focus on. They are absolutely terrific. I just love these characters. I kind of want to spin off just about them doing random stuff on Halloween night. I don't know. I just thought they were funny, and I liked the chemistry between the two actors. Then you get a few other new characters throughout this movie. They're alright, not super memorable, but I like them. And then obviously you have Michael Myers, absolutely terrific. James Jude Courtney takes his performance from 2018 and ramps it up to 5 billion. He's absolutely merciless in this movie. I mean, his very first scene, he takes out an entire squad of firefighters, dispatching them with all their different equipment with crowbars, fire pokers, the jaws of life. It's just absolutely badass. It's one of my favorite scenes in the entire Halloween franchise. And then the rest of the kills in this movie are absolutely brutal. I just really love every kill that comes from Michael in this film. Uh, like I said, Michael is on a whole new level of pissed off and badass in this film. He's just absolutely mean. Every time he kills someone, you can feel the contempt in his actions. And also, the ending to this movie where he slaughters an entire mob of people after him. Absolutely amazing. And on from the kills, I like the story to this movie. It's not great. It's not as good as 2018, but I still do enjoy parts of it. I'll get a little bit more onto the stuff of some stuff from the story a bit later, but I did really enjoy the story for the most part, and I love the score for this movie. The take on the classic theme in this movie is easily the most sinister and the most creepy version of the classic theme, and it's probably my favorite version of the classic theme. I just really love it. And then you have two different endings to this movie, because there's a theatrical ending and then there's a different ending that was released on the extended cut on the Blu-ray. I know that the extended cut ending was mainly just Laurie saying she was going after Michael, because the original plan for Halloween Ends was for it to be again on the same night as Halloween and Halloween Kills, but stuff happened that I'm not going to mention, pandemic, that they wanted to make Halloween Ends set 5 years later, so they decided to change the ending to just showing Karen's dead body at the end. But either way, I like both those endings. I kind of prefer the theatrical one. But that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And there's just one scene in this movie that does not sit well with me. And that's the scene where the mob terrorizes this poor mental patient into unaliving himself. That scene just doesn't sit well with me. I know the point of it. I know what they were trying to say. But it just seems like, I don't know, it's just done in poor taste, I guess. Also, the whole evil dies tonight stuff, yeah, it gets annoying. I will admit, it does get a little annoying. And also, yeah, some of the other legacy characters were wasted, specifically Nurse Marion. Yeah, she was absolutely wasted in this movie. But that's about all for the bad, so on to the final thoughts. I really, really enjoy this movie. I love a lot of stuff that goes on. The kills are amazing. The story, while not as good as 2018, is still good. Halloween Kills is quite possibly my favorite sequel in the series, aside from some minor things that I had wrong with it, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Halloween Kills. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. As I said, I am seeing Halloween Ends tonight. I am so excited. I plan to have a review for that out tomorrow. I'm going to come home from seeing it, sit right down, make a review without even thinking about it. Well, I'm definitely going to think about the movie, but either way. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow for my review for Halloween Ends.